Hello and welcome back to MUGEN Forever Build Episode 2 of Season 1, True Love We're Making. In the last episode we covered the basics of the Forever Build of MUGEN, introduced most of the roster, outlined the core design philosophy behind my build, and shared some plans for the series going forward. I've decided to write the script as I process my MUGEN with testing sessions and tweaking the settings, rather than finish the testing all at once and then work on the script. I just like this method a little bit more. Day 1. Fight Stick obtained. First thing new for this episode is my fight stick plans. Remember how I said I would practice using it before using it in MUGEN last episode? Well, I've tried out the fight stick the other night, and found that I wasn't too bad with it after all. Even got a few rounds won. I never felt like the losses I took were due to the controller. So I guess I'm using stick now. That's surprisingly easy. I still need to work with the fight stick if I hope to be as good as I am on my pad. But I enjoyed using the stick well enough. I've also found a cozy way to play and record my MUGEN sessions, mainly using an HDMI cable to connect my PC to the TV in my bedroom. Now my TV is kind of broken in that if the bathroom door in the hallway outside my room is used, it tends to cause my screen to go black for a moment. Actually, I'm not sure if it's the TV or the PS4. It broke a little bit when I accidentally stepped on the cord when it was connected to the capture card back when I was still using that thing. This is why you don't be lazy like me, folks. The first play session went very well, though some problems occurred. Namely, I found even more brutal AI in my rosters, which I thought were fine, but were quite difficult to beat. So I raised their order number to try and have them appear later in the arcade ladder. I've also been jump scared by Jotaro, who I thought was set at order 10, but instead appeared at stage 3. I assumed that meant the max order was actually 9 and 10 was an invalid number, so I changed the final boss characters down to order 9. I've also added Kagero to the order 9 list. Also, she is AI only, so if I want to play her I would need to add the non-AI patched version as well. But I'm not really that interested in playing that particular character. Elsa, the redhead nun lady from Arcana Heart, also got bumped up to level 9 as her AI was pretty tough. I'll also note that after facing Giorno and testing, I realized he was actually quite beatable. Not quite easy, but light, but way less difficult to beat than initially expected. I was pretty sure I got the final version of him, meaning final form, but I guess it works out as we need more arcade fodder to fill the lower levels. I put him on order 6 for tough though, but not that tough. On another project, I made a small mood board for what I hope will be the future screen pack for my Forever build. I've taken screenshots of various menus for inspiration for when I make the screen pack. I don't know if I'll have what it takes to make a screen pack despite having made an Eichmann Go one before, but I'm definitely going to try. I actually did make a set of sprites for another scrap project. A set of life bars I never quite finished because I couldn't figure out the index palette of the sprites. I am likely going to go to a pixel art route with this screen pack if I do finish it. I'm also hoping to make my life bars use custom portraits, but that's a bit early to plan for. Another thing I noticed about my MUGEN thus far after collecting footage using AI battles is, despite my build trying to be human beatable, it's still pretty good at AI battles. Though some characters will need to have their config files edited to make a full switch to AI mode. With that said and done, that's day 1 of the testing phase of my MUGEN Forever Build. I'll come back when I record more footage and work out where my roster stands in terms of AI power. Day 2. Testing Session 2. Day 2 started pretty similarly to the first. I picked Peter Han's Ken and did a quick test drive with my stick. I think I'm used to the stick controller now, as I no longer put too much thought into the actual usage of the stick. Tried arcade mode to continue testing the strength of the roster's AI and found that Kyo by Igaruka didn't properly go to his intended stage. Seems like I'm doing something wrong, and that's why the home stages aren't working properly. This is difficult to troubleshoot because other characters do show up in their intended stage. I've tested the home stage she was supposed to go to, and it seems to work, though I did notice a little bit of lag on that stage. Weird. If this keeps up, I'll likely have to rework the whole stage list, as this is a recurring problem so far. At least Melissa is appearing in her proper stage, who I got bodied by when I started using Josuke. Yes, I've begun trying out different characters in my roster. I've mostly stuck to Ken, and sometimes Goku, but I've given both Josuke, who seems to be based on his all-star battle moveset, and Toriel by Mega X a try. Josuke felt a bit lacking in moves as he was a free button character with some shortcut buttons for dodge rolls and stand activation, but he played pretty well despite feeling a bit janky at times. I've picked up Toriel next. I liked her buttons and seemingly easier normal chaining, which is weird as I don't remember King of Fighters style characters having such easy normal chaining. I did struggle to use her supers though. Seems those supers require a more precise timing to pull off. Doesn't help that Mugen lacks a proper moveless system. That's one thing Kamen beats Mugen on for me. But despite these challenges, I was able to do pretty well as Toriel. She has a nice slide kick and a good fireball move, which I spammed at Komachi when I struggled to face her in arcade mode. Still, Komachi feels pretty fair for the early game, at least compared to Sumiriko's oppressive zoning. So despite not being quite able to beat Komachi, I've kept her at Order 1. Also, Rock Howard got tested and left at Order 1. Toriel's house stage had some minor issues, mainly me messing up the background music file path, so it was an easy fix. I've also fixed Kyo's stage with a similar problem. I think perhaps it would be easier to just do away with the home stage idea entirely at this point. Maybe I could be convinced to put this work into the final boss, but I can't even reach them yet. In the troubleshooting I'm having with just this 31 character roster, I'm pretty sure I want to change this part of the build in the future. I've put around 45 minutes total into the testing phase so far with this Forever Build. I could put more into it daily, but I don't want to overdo it. After all, this is meant to be fun for me, so why force it? I'll start work on the Mugen Ultimate Screen Pack project next, as that's what I feel like working on now. I'll update the script again after I make some progress. Day 3. Why am I not asleep? Well, I stayed up a bit late tonight as usual and actually got pretty far in making the screen pack. The tutorial by Rayon is helpful, but I decided not to continue work on the screen pack. I was never the best artist, and I just didn't like the overall look of the sprite made so far. Mostly made using the plugins I discovered thanks to Old Gamer's tutorial before the channel went down for Paint.net. But perhaps this isn't a complete loss, as it did teach me a bit about how you have to treat sprite work in Mugen. Perhaps if I ever make a character, edit, or stage, this would prove valuable experience. So I guess we're sticking to Mugen Plus by Slayer, which is fine by me. I think we could do with some better music for the screen pack. I've used Spotify to search for and sort the various tracks I would like for Mugen. I initially intended this for my own custom screen pack before writing this, but it can easily be made to work with Mugen's default visual style, too. I have also decided to change my life bars to the Mugen Battle Climax life bars. I've used these for my old AI tournament video. This version I'm using actually uses custom portraits, though I'll likely wait till after I finalize my Season 1 roster. Another thing I wanted to try was making a custom opening movie for my Mugen. By default, Mugen Plus doesn't have an opening movie. I think I could see it as a fun project to record and make my own AMV style opening, as I did with my old Mugen AI tournament video I did. The problem is I don't think adding movies to Mugen is easy, but if nothing else I could make the movie anyways and use it as an intro to Season 1 of this Forever Build series. Cut ahead a bit and now I'm deciding on what I'm going to do with the stage situation. Decided to stop trying to making home stages as the stupid game won't be consistent with its settings for that. Besides, I'm not really enjoying the stages I already got, so I'm throwing all the stages out and re-downloading the stages to hopefully make things better. But I'm gonna try and do some research on the best style of stages to include, as some stages had black edges when things got crazy in the fight. Hours later. I do these voiceovers in post, so you may not hear any signs of me being tired from staying up all night. But I am sort of tired of staying up all night. But it was worth it, bitches! I got around to replacing the stage roster with a few stage packs I found, plus some additions from other sources. I found 3 perfect pot-style replacements for Kyo, Leori, and Rock. They seem to be scaling with default Mugen's difficulty settings too, so that's a bonus. I also found that the theory by Mimo works the same way, so that's awesome. Now that I've got everyone in the roster finalized for Season 1, why not make a tournament to showcase the characters and stages I added? I'll still be working towards the balance, or at least fun arcade mode. I just want to take advantage of the roster's good AI to make a side project for this Forever Build. I'm going to likely play arcade mode and watch mode after I finally sleep later to hopefully get footage for the opening movie project too. So those 2 goals are what I'm planning next, even though I've considered this a late night session of testing and tweaking. Okay, I don't know why I said that, because there's nothing after that. Whatever, I'm ending the script here. Gotta record sometimes, right? But I am quite pleased with the results so far. So until next episode, I will keep on playing Mugen. Peace out, and hopefully after this episode you will see like an AI tournament or something. Who knows?